Today I want to talk to you about the need for purpose. Yes, the need for purpose. Just the idea of existing, why we need purpose. Why something in our heart, in our soul, in our mind, and just the idea that we are who we are needs purpose. Okay, I hope I got your attention, folks. Yeah. Oh, this is Tom. This is the INFJ experience, and that's what my monologue's going to be about. Being that we are INFJs, that is one of our fundamental functions in who we are, according to the Myers-Briggs Personality Type Indicator, and of course the opinion of many of the creators and AI creators. It seems just basic people on out there saying that the INFJs need purpose. Well, it ain't just INFJs, it's human beings in general that need purpose in their life. We have to know that we matter, but we exist for some reason, for something we're here for. All right, well, we're going to talk about that a little bit today and find out why purpose is so important. Well, think about this, people. First of all, let's look at science, nature, physics, find out the importance of purpose. Okay, let's look at the smallest building block possible. Let's go right down to the molecule, the atom, and the particles that rotate around it. Well, if it wasn't for the fact of the matter, that matter is what it is, if it wasn't for the fact that it needed purpose just to have the building blocks for matter, for everything that is, there'd be no point of atoms and molecules. The fact that particles rotate around that molecule, giving it dimension, giving it life, giving it, not life, but just body, matter, just existence, gave it purpose. Let's span out a little bit further there, folks. Span out to the solar system, which is a macrocosm of the atom, if you think about it. A molecule, people think about the molecule, what it is. It has an atom, which is a nucleus in the center, which is the gravitational center, the pull. And then it has protons, neutrons, photons, electrons. A lot of trons kind of rotating around there. And each one of these trons has a shell around it also, as a kind of almost a shell within a shell, like its own orbitals up around the orbitals, which give it more unique dimension. And now I'm going to go in a little further. I have theories that I'm going to elaborate on my own, but right now I want to stick to purpose right now. Well, okay, that was the microcosm of the solar system, which is all circular. So the circular macrocosm, which is your molecule, also translate into the microcosm of the solar system. Now, there's a lot you can gather that you can gather from the relativity of the solar system in its revolution and its relationship with each other, in its somehow perfect balance within itself of the solar system. Well, how does that? What is that talking about? How does that have anything to do with us, though? I mean, us as human beings. Well, you just got to let me get to that point, people. It will get to that point. I'm trying to establish that things around us, that nature, science, everything that we know, plants. I mean, what is the purpose of an apple tree if it does not bear fruit? You see, yes, it grows. These trees actually have a symbiote relationship with the sun. We'll go back to the solar system. That sun has a relationship with these trees. It creates the photosynthesis and the earth that it's growing into, the water, and it's somehow it is receiving sustenance, life, in order to perpetuate its life, so that tree has a function, has a purpose to be a tree. Also, it bears fruit, which feeds other animals, feeds the plants, feeds other things, and ultimately feeds us. So there is a purpose there. So right away I've created, there's steps. There are intricate steps which go from the very smallest absolute nothing of an atom into the solar system, the circular perfect harmony of the circle of life, which translates into the small relationship with the trees and its purpose to function. All right, my mind is really going now, people. It's going 100 miles an hour, and I'm just trying to spit out these words as quick as it will come out. So, okay, then you can get into galaxies that are kind of a macrocosm of solar systems, because they're all made up the same thing, and that somehow the galaxy made up of trillions of billions of stars are kind of almost a symbolization of a cell in a large body. I'm going deep here, people, again. But bottom line is there's a function there. All right, we're just basically the particle on Earth. We're just nothing more than a photon or a proton in a larger body of a cell. That's a whole other topic someday, people. I'm talking about function. I'm just talking about purpose right now. Okay, so anyway, people, so what is our purpose? Okay, I'm going to get down to that. I'm trying to show you that the Earth and science has purpose, has function. Okay, food chains have purpose. Okay, you got animals that eat other animals. You got animals that eat the trees, that eat the plants, that go on in turn to be eaten by other animals in a food chain, almost a stepping stone. And eventually that highest apex predator actually dies and returns back to the soil in which it was formed. Okay, and then the whole cycle starts again, the circle of life. Those are purposes, all are in circles. So what is our function, people? Okay, I think I've kind of given you enough explanations as to function to say now, human beings, who are we and what are our functions? Well, people, I mean, we are living our life. We are living human beings. We have to have function. But being that we are in the image of our Creator, our God, it puts us into a higher absolute category. And as INFJs, being that we are somehow in touch with, I mean, not just us, anybody can be in touch with their creation, with their purpose, but being that we have a certain gathering of information, a certain intuition that we are able to recognize, it puts us into mindsets, as in the one I'm talking about right now. Now, I hope I'm not going too fast for you people. I'm trying to just think of it as I'm going along. But bottom line is, our purpose here on Earth is, yes, it's to procreate. It's eventually to raise our children. It's eventually to, get married, have children, have kids, work hard for a living. Is there something more than that? Is there something more than the physical, sensual, outer extension of our purpose? Sure there is. We're going to talk about that, people. But you see how I had the lead into it? I couldn't just tell you what it is. It has to have been slowly kind of evolved into what I'm trying to, into my point that I'm trying to make here, folks. All right. So, our purpose is similar to this tree that bears fruit. Okay? Ultimately, our purpose as human beings are to become almost in a sense, a wisdom of nourishment, if that means anything. In other words, me just talking, trying to describe to you what purpose is part of my purpose. Is part of what I'm here for. It's part of what I was created for, was to have taken in the information about the world, about everything, my experiences as a man, as who I am. And eventually it is supposed to have translated into my life experiences, my whole core as to who I was and what I believe in and what I've learned. And eventually it's supposed to be mature enough, ripe enough to be processed into somebody else taking advice or taking some kind of inspiration from what I say. That's ultimate. I hope I'm trying to put the best words I can into what my mind is telling me, and that's the best I can come up with. I hope that's a good one. Now that sounds pretty well explanatory, people. Now, obviously, I got to tell you the truth. I do spend a lot of time alone, people. I do spend a lot of time thinking. Somehow, I've always known, I don't know, in the long run, I've always known that I was supposed to be something. I've always known that somehow, somewhere in who I was supposed to have a purpose and a function. And I keep telling you that this channel is my calling. And that's what my channel calling is. Now, I'm being very vague right at the moment as far as like purpose goes, but ultimately it's just something dawned on me as to where this channel has given me purpose. This YouTube channel at this moment, and the fact that I'm able to speak on a broad scale audience as you are, and not only just an audience, my community, and our community, is something that I need to do, and it's giving me a sense of purpose. So all I can do is create content and just let it come out when I need to. I seem to do my best thinking when I'm around this, though. I really do. When I'm in nature, when I see what I'm surrounded by, my mind just goes to where I see the depth of everything around, and it says, okay, then it translates into who are we? Okay, if that molecule has a purpose, okay, and that's a building block of entirety, of the entirety, and there are trillions upon trillions. I mean, you can't even count how many, you know, atoms and molecules there are just in the thumbnail that I got. Thumbnail, go figure. Okay, just maybe the Earth itself. Well, they're all building blocks, and they have a function and a purpose for being there. Well, we have to have something bigger and better of a purpose as individuals, as human beings, as INFJs. And this is the big, deeper picture that I can tell you is going on in my mind. Okay, people, I want to know that I said this in such a way as best I could. Sometimes I'm trying to get my thoughts out, and it's even hard to make a script because I might lose something. I might lose something in the message without just letting it come out. The idea was there, exactly what I've been wanting. In fact, it's been years in the making. I've known these thoughts for many, many years. These things are just there. And unless they come out, unless they are expressed, I don't know how else to keep them in. You see what I mean? They have to come out at some point in order for a purpose, a sense of purpose to be accomplished. All right. Well, people, I think I said quite a bit. I think I did. And, well, people, I hope you like what I got. You know, like I said, I want to build this community. And INFJs, you have a safe place and haven here. And maybe I got a little bit too out of it, but I had to get it out. All right. So, people, I'm going to stick around, and maybe you can watch the next video that aligns with what I just talked about here. And so I'm gonna end this one at this point. But people, just thank you for showing up. But I just want you to look and enjoy this beautiful, beautiful, serene moment as I pan out. Hey, look at those ducks out there. See them? They're way out there. Let me see. Let me watch these ducks. See? Let's see. Zoom in. Can we zoom in up there? Come on. Let's zoom it in. There we go. Where are they? Oh, there they are. Okay. See the ducks? They're ducks. Oh, there's 3 of them. Yeah, that's nice. Well, anyway, people, thank you so much for this wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you again.